Yo, welcome back everyone. This is Stu42 with another Minecraft video. Today I'm going to have just a very quick episode on the next sort of steps with GregTech. I was originally going to do this as one big episode, but I think it's worth breaking down into a couple of smaller ones. So as you can see, I've I've done quite a bit of work in clearing this out, made a bunch of barrels. We're trying to move my workshop upstairs. It's looking pretty good so far. As you can see, we've also moved away. I've got one little extractor, steam extractor, sitting on top of my steam ducts there. I've gone to 2 basic steam turbines, but I'm starting to build up a decent sort of collection of EU machines along the front. Now, one of the interesting things that just happened to me was you'll notice this cabling is now 4 times copper cabling. When I had the 1 times copper cabling in there, which is the no, 1 times copper cable there, max amperage is 1. Now I think each of these machines is about 1 amp, which means that as soon as I had 2 machines running at once, the cabling all caught fire, burnt to the ground, and I lost power. So I've decided to go for the 4 times cable, which is that one, so we can handle up to 4 amps. Now what this means is I should be able to put another 2 basic steam turbines on the end of here, making 1, 2, 3, 4 amps, and these machines I should be able to run 4 at a time to get my 4 amps out. So that's one of the other things to keep in mind as you grow your GregTech sort of workshop, the way I am here. The other thing is to get the maximum amount of ore out. Ore washing plant is pretty much essential, and the next thing you need is a thermal centrifuge, which as you saw I had on the screen at the start. I'm just sort of getting to the point where I'm crafting the bits and pieces that I need. That's some NAND chips. So what I'm going to do is you can actually wash ore first and then put it through the thermal centrifuge second, and you'll get 2 lots of the byproducts. So for example, actually, we'll use one of the things I've been doing. So stibnite ore. I've just been crushing some stibnite ore up. So if we hit U over that and go to our... Now you can put it in a thermal centrifuge first, but it's far, far better to put it into the ore washing plant first. Reason being, you then get a tiny pile of antimony dust and you get purified stibnite ore. If you put U on the purified one, you can put the purified one into the thermal centrifuge and get another tiny pile of antimony dust out of it, as well as the centrifuged ore. So it's well worth it to go to the washing plant first and then the thermal centrifuge, just so you get both byproducts. In this case, it happens to be antimony both times, but if we look at something like tin ore, so crushed tin ore, if we hit U on that, as you can see, we can put it in a thermal centrifuge, get some zinc out, and some stone dust. If you hit U on the centrifuged ore, there's no way of washing it. You can't wash that. So what we do is we then put the crushed tin ore. So we put the crushed tin ore into the ore washing plant first, get a tiny pile of iron dust out of it, and then put the purified tin ore into the thermal centrifuge and get the tiny pile of zinc out. That way you get a little bit of iron and a little bit of zinc out of every single bit of tin that you do. So that's what I'm actually working on at the moment, making my thermal centrifuge so that I can actually get as much out as I possibly can. So yeah, that's pretty much it for next steps. Things to keep in mind when you're building up your workshop. For the next episode, I will be back and I should have a much better collection of machines along here. I should also have this, I'm going to make this one into an EU machine and retire that old steam one. Maybe have another couple of generators along here. Hopefully this one steam boiler down there will be sorted. But next episode, I really want to get into... As you can see, I've got another cart there running, but I do want to get into automating, keeping the steam boiler running with the charcoal from the farm. So getting the wood back across here, turning it into charcoal, putting it straight into the boiler so that I've got power a bit more on demand than my ad hoc kind of way that I'm doing it at the moment. And as with everything I've done so far this season is GregTech. I do want to do as much GregTech as I can, which means it might be a bit more expensive on materials. But it should hopefully be, I don't know, Why do we do anything? Just because we can, pretty much. So I will just keep using GregTech as much as I can, and only using other mods when I'm really forced to. So yeah, so that's pretty much it for this episode. Remember to keep these things in mind. Cable amperage, keep an eye on that. And yeah, so as always, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.